And yes, those aircraft are flying in formation in tribute to every one of you who have been deployed and those who did not come back. I also would like to acknowledge Emily Turo, whose son Isaac was killed in action in Iraq, and she is with us as well today. So Emily, thank you for being here. Congressman Tom Souzzi knows something about a family's legacy of valor. His father was a crewman B-24s during World War II. In that conflict, some 20% of the American bomber crews would become fatalities. It's good to have air cover, don't you think? Yeah. County executive actually wanted that, and we had to negotiate it in the budget, so we're glad it's here. Those folks are from the Bayport Aerodrome, and they so very much wanted to participate in this program, and they're doing it in a meaningful way. So regarding those statistics, American bomber crews, 17% would become POWs. Tom's father came home from his combat missions to start a family and a family legacy of public service. Please welcome the Congressman.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Gary, thanks so much for inviting me here today. And it's such an honor to be here with all of you. Let's hear it again for our flyover. I don't think this one comes in as close as the first one. Let's see. It's such a great honor to be here with all of you, and thank you so much to all of you for coming out like this today, and thanks to all of our elected officials for being here. I want to make special mention of our Attorney General. She's got to cover the entire state of New York, and she came here to Nassau County. Let's give her another thank you for being here today with us. Very grateful. You know, when we think of our veterans, we have to honor every single one of our veterans in battles that we won and battles that we lost. Veterans that carried a rifle, flew a plane, veterans that worked as mechanics or on KP duty. We have to honor all of our veterans. Today we remember our veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan, and we take special note of those that gave their lives. President Kennedy once said, quote, "Our nation reveals itself not only by the people it produces, but by the people it honors, the people it remembers." So we honor and remember all of our veterans today, with special note for our Iraqi and Afghanistan veterans. But we also make special note, I just read about this in the paper yesterday, Gary, due to your good work, about Marine Corporal John Herder. Today we honor him and remember him for his sacrifice. And I found an article that was written in the Wall Street Journal that recounted a speech by then Lieutenant General John Kelly, who went on to become the Chief of Staff to the President of the United States of America. And he talked about the life of this young man, as well as his compatriot, Corporal Yale, in the last minutes of their lives, last seconds of their life. And when General Kelly applied for the Navy Cross for John Herder, he didn't have access to a video that was on one of the security cameras. He found the video afterwards, and he gave this speech about the last 6 seconds of their lives. And instead of me speaking about it, I'm going to just read part of what he said. "In all the instantaneous violence, Yale and Herder never hesitated. They never stepped back. They never even started to step aside. They never even shifted their feet. The truck explodes, the camera goes blank, 2 young men go to their God. 6 seconds. Not enough time to think about their families, their country, their flag, or about their lives or their deaths. But more than enough time for the 2 very brave young men to do their duty into eternity. Those are the kind of people who are on watch over the world tonight, for you. Based upon reading about this, because of the article yesterday, and then a constituent of mine from Seacliff sent me an email and requested that I fight to try and get the Medal of Honor for Corporal John Herder. So I sent a letter yesterday, last night actually, to the Secretary of Defense and to the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I noted that the Medal of Honor is authorized, and the Navy Cross is an amazing honor. But the Medal of Honor is authorized for any military service member who, quote, distinguishes himself conspicuously by gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while engaged in action against an enemy of the United States and while engaged in military operations involving conflict with an opposing foreign force. This 6 seconds where these 2 young men showed such bravery into eternity saved the lives of dozens of other soldiers because they stood in an alleyway, stood their ground, and fired upon an oncoming truck bomb and stopped that truck from getting into the compound. So I'm formally requesting that the military consider this action to create the Medal of Honor, give the Medal of Honor to these young men posthumously. At the end of the day, a nation not only reveals itself by the people it produces, but by those that it honors and remembers. We're doing that today, and we need to do it every single day. I now want to bring forward a very good friend of mine who I actually miss in Congress. We didn't agree on everything, but we really worked well together to get things done for the people that we serve. Please join me in greeting my good friend, Congressman Peter King.
Thank you very much, Tom. Attorney General James, County Executive Curran. It's really an honor to be here today. And let me also especially acknowledge First Sergeant John O'Doherty. He was in the Fighting 69th Unit. I was in it too. He served a lot more distinction than I did. But I want to really commend him for all his unyielding support of veterans and never forgetting the fight. It means so much for all of us to be here today, for all of you to be here, to show the respect and admiration and in many cases adoration we have to have for the men and women of our armed forces. There was World War I, World War II, these other wars, Korean War, Vietnam War. They were all hideous, they were all brutal, they were all terrible to those involved. But the war on terror over the last 20 years, many times is fought in the shadows. We didn't read about it on the front pages of all the papers. It wasn't covered. But as Tom Souzzi, I'm sure, would agree, he and I have been overseas. I visited troops in Afghanistan and Iraq. And they suffer just as much, they fight just as hard, they suffer the same tribulations as in all other wars, but it doesn't get the same type of coverage as those did. And we really can't forget that right now, as we're here today, there are men and women all around the world, not just in Afghanistan, not just in Iraq, but all throughout the world. American forces are stationed, doing their all they can in the war against terrorism, and also as a shield against whether it's China or Russia or any other force that may move on the United States. Without their courage, we wouldn't be here today. So I want to really thank them, thank their families for the suffering, the sacrifice they've gone through, and how much it means to have men and women who are willing to pick up the shield, go overseas, defend us. And think of that the next time you're sitting at home watching a football game or at a barbecue or complaining about something that just happened to you in the neighborhood. Think about what these men and women are doing every day. And in fact, they do it without complaint, without any type of real gratification other than the fact that they are serving their country, the United States of America. So thank you all, and God bless all the men and women of our armed forces. Thank you.
Nassau County Legislator Arnie Drucker is no stranger to programs conducted by the Army Museum that pay tribute to those who have served, and that commitment reflects his constant, quiet, personal commitment to the veterans who have defended our freedoms. Please welcome Legislator Arnold Drucker.
Thank you very much, Gary. And can we just have a quick hand for Gary Louie? What a tremendous job he does producing all the events that we go to here all the time, honoring our heroes, men and women who serve our nation. As I said, I'm Nassau County Legislator Arnie Drucker. I have the distinct honor and privilege to represent this community on the Nassau County Legislature. I also have the distinct honor and privilege to live across the street. And having grown up and lived in this community my entire life, having the benefit of this precious museum, this restoration village that we stand on today. And I want to thank Lawrence Kadish for his vision and his insight in creating the museum today, because it's an enduring tribute, a lasting tribute to honor those brave men and women who serve our country day in and day out. You know, we just finished seeing the end of America's longest war in Afghanistan. And what that showed us, front pages every single day, is how the effort to preserve and protect freedom, democracy, that was an experiment that our forefathers thought of 250 years ago. And it was an experiment then that they thought would last, and it has. But there are challenges. What this war in Afghanistan has shown us is that freedom and democracy is hard, but we can achieve it if we continue to do what these brave men and women do each and every day in their sacrifice and their bravery. So I just want to tell you how proud I am to have this particular museum, and every day that we can never repay the debt of gratitude we owe to our veterans and to our men and women who serve and protect us day in and day out. But we can honor them by each and every day remembering them, doing acts of kindness, acknowledging those heroes, their families, and I want to thank each and every one of them that are here today, because that's how we honor them. We honor them each and every day by being kind to them and to others. And on the Nassau County Legislature, we do everything we can, thanks to our County Executive Laura Curran. Every opportunity we can get to find a way to honor our veterans through the Veterans Administration, through benefits that we can bestow upon them, we don't hesitate. And as was said earlier, this is not political. There is no blue, there's no red, there's no Democrat, there's no Republican when it comes to our veterans. We all support them and honor them each and every day. So thank you very much for inviting me here today. Thank you.